What's going on, folks? I'm back in the building. Can you not hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I got nothing for you on my end.
Nothing? All right, let me double check. Double check. Do. Check. You hear me? You hear me? Nothing? Check. I hear you. I hear
Say
you.
something?
I said
Okay.
I hear you. You
All right.
good?
I couldn't hear you.
Okay. I'm just making sure everything's good.
When you started the show, I jumped
Yeah.
over to Facebook real quick to share it when I got the alert.
Yeah.
And I left and came back in. We're good, brother. Do you think?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, forget the technical difficulties. That's what happens when Wildcard Mark comes back. Wild shit happens. But welcome to episode, it's 108 of I.O.W. Sports. The big homie Detroit Mel will join us in just a second. He's running a little bit late. He's out getting the bag. So don't worry about his tardiness. It's all good. It's for getting money purposes. So it's that time of the year, y'all. It's about to be December. Everybody got to grind. They got to get gifts for all the little bastard kids and family that they ain't seen in a couple of years, because of COVID. So forgive our brother. All right, forgive our brother. But no, it's pleasure to be back. Big homie Nick, how you doing, bro, man? Glad to see you, man.
Yeah, man. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Glad
Yeah,
you guys had a good time? Good safe
yeah,
trip?
yeah. Me and the fam did the 16-hour drive to Kansas City, Missouri, but we broke it up in 8 hours. So literally Nashville, like the midpoint. So
Nice.
stopped in Nashville, Tennessee, overnight. Then I did the other 8 to go to Kansas City and did the same thing coming back. Nashville's a beautiful city. If y'all haven't been to Nashville, Tennessee, um, I definitely recommend it if you're single. Just saying. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm taking notes.
Let's just say them little country guys like to wear their little boots and them leather pants. That's all I'm saying. Anyway,
Sounds like a fantastic combo.
yeah.
Goes
Oh,
together
bro.
like lamb and tuna fish.
When I say Nashville's a beautiful city, I mean that wholeheartedly. Anyway, a lot of sports to get to. Of course, I hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving time with friends and loved ones. Um, you know, it was great to get together with folks back in Kansas City. So I hope you all enjoyed your holiday as well. But before we get too deep into the NFL, because it started on Thanksgiving, like always, I wanted to talk about Lincoln Riley real quick, man. Your guy leaves a plush job in Oklahoma, and he got an even more plusher job at USC. Let's call a spade a spade.
He
Um,
packed up shop like
mhm.
they packed up the Colts years ago and moved to like Indy overnight.
from Baltimore to Indy.
Lincoln Riley had the Mayflower truck in front of his house.
I said, "Let's go."
That's it.
um, it, honestly, what do you think of the move, big homie? Because I got some certain thoughts, but I definitely want to hear from you first.
A little surprising.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I Ed Ogeron from LSU. I thought from the moment he declared in like mid-October, I'm done here at the end of the year. I thought that was his way of saying it without saying like, "Hey, USC, I'm going to be available." We
Mm-hmm.
discussed that. Little surprised. There was rumors of Riley LSU. Like everyone thought he would be the guy to go step in at LSU, and he would have been very interesting to see in the SEC. But you're critiqued more in the SEC, right? Like it's a safer job to take the USC job because expectations have been so low. It's interesting. I'm wondering if Ed Ogeron now just steps in at Oklahoma with a high power offense. 'Cause I don't think he's retiring. I think he kind of
No, he
threw it
wanted to
out
get
there
out of
like,
LSU. He
I'm
just
going to
wanted to
be
get out of
available.
LSU.
They didn't hit on a class or two, so it's going to be a while. He don't want to stick around for that. Oklahoma's a top 10 team. So it's It's going to be. I saw Florida promoted their head coach too, so some little early coaching shakeups already in college.
I'm still surprised that they moved off to Dan Mullen because he had a winning
And they just
record.
promoted someone from underneath him, right? Because the guy, I saw the screenshot. I don't know the name, but he had the Florida jacket on the sideline. I don't know if it's offensive or defensive.
I can't remember his name neither, but and this is crazy because you do see the coaching movement in college football, but the timing of it, like all of this was pretty much before Thanksgiving, and I've never seen so much coaching movement before the regular season was done. I mean, you still got conference championships next week, and
panic, right? Like we don't want to lose our guy. We'd rather overpay to get him than sit and lose him.
And here's the thing about Lincoln Riley. So he was already getting paid pretty well at Oklahoma, but you go to USC, those USC money to me is a lot bigger than Oklahoma money. No disrespect to Oklahoma, but you don't match the booster pool that USC does. So there's a bigger bag in USC,
and that they've been down for so long. Those checks are going to get bigger out of desperation, right?
Not only is the check going to get bigger, you look at what Lincoln Riley does as a coach. So gets Baker Mayfield drafted number 1. Just correlation. Not saying he's responsible for it, but he just coached Baker Mayfield,
line, right? Yeah. Like he's had an eye for guys. Kyler Murray too
goes number 1 next year. Then brings in Jalen Hurts from Alabama, who people thought he was a winner, but they was like, well, what's the skill set looking like? He's able to get him into the second round draft.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's not like he doesn't have the resume to show that he can work with NFL talent. He just put 3 quarterbacks in the draft. 2 went number 1 overall, and 1 is a second rounder. So let's give him his
all
credit.
3 starting. Like they're not like
starting. Yes.
They're not drafted like Greg McElroy at round 7. They're players.
Yeah. So they're in the NFL, like the heart of it. So they're not scrubs. What's going on, big homie?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's good?
No, we're just kind of discussing Lincoln Riley right now, and
hey, you never did the opening either with the where to find us and everything.
Oh yeah, hey, look, y'all.
You can find us next to your mama.
He's still on Kansas City time now.
I am, bro. I'm an hour behind still, bro.
It's amazing.
I'm glad you reminded, bro.
You can find us in the club.
It's going down.
It's going down.
Thanks to Nick to actually reminding me. Look, everybody, go over to the website when we get it back up. www.ioftenwonder
19, y'all.
.com. That's going to be the website, of course.
Do I type y'all in there? Do I type y'all in?
No, don't type the y'all in there. Don't listen to him.
That's an ad.
That's he thinks it's just improv. No, sir. You gotta let the people know where the website's at. But no, the links for the Patreon is on there. Of course, get some merchandise. I'm rocking some off the Wonder Podcast, and definitely download the I.O.W. Network app. It's available in your Google and the Apple Store. So definitely go download that. And thanks again, Nick, for reminding me. See what happens when you're away for a week. You forget all kind of shit.
Mel and I were getting good at the feeling very charitable. Go on Patreon, drop some coin in there, trying to build a media conglomerate. Me and Mel,
I was like, oh, we got this thing down pat. You know what I'm saying?
And I forget. Damn. But no. Here's my thing with Lincoln Riley. He's going to automatically turn USC around within a year, just because you're going to see all the recruits start to come back to USC because there's players that want to play for him. So he's going to take it pretty quickly on turning that USC program around. It's not going to look hard at all.
Competitive next year, and light years different in 2023. Yeah, year 2 would be 23.
Yep. Like you think of just the recruiting he can do. That's one factor I think that works for him at USC. And regardless, it was going to follow him at Oklahoma or not. It was going to follow him. But
agreed. With
him being in the Pac-12, you're in such an easier conference. Your most threat is what? Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Now say he
Notre
sticks
Dame.
around.
Technically, you say Notre Dame.
True, because they face him once a year. But imagine he stays in Oklahoma. They're about to transition to the SEC probably sooner rather than later. I got a feeling. Me and Mel talked about that. I think there's going to be a settlement reached at the Oklahoma and Texas. They're going to be in the SEC sooner than 2025, 2026. They'll be in there sooner. But regardless, you look at the SEC. Of course, it's the premier football conference, but there's no cakewalk in the SEC. There's no telling whether his style of offense can make it in the SEC, because obviously
the style of offense is very similar to Oregon, right? Spread you out, air attack, speed.
Okay, and that's true. But when have you seen Oregon go take down Alabama, LSU, Georgia?
It's a softer type of. Oklahoma's the perfect Pac-12 team, right? Because they're not overly physical and aggressive. They're not ground and pound and punch you in the mouth. They
opportunistic defense, and high potent offense. That's Big 12 and that's Pac-12. Both conferences, one and the same.
I mean, what do you got out west? You got Stanford, Washington State, Oregon State.
All spread offense.
I'm trying to think who else. Like I can't.
UCLA. You got Chip Kelly down there. UCLA,
right?
Is Colorado State Pac-12?
Yep. No, Colorado's Pac-12, but then you also look at Fresno State has been Pac-12. Utah has been Pac-12. And they're known to, give you a little upset. I mean, you just saw Utah beat down on Oregon the other day, a couple of weeks back. So what I'm saying is
true, man. So
no, I got you. I know you. By the time West Coast come on, y'all
30 games on Saturday night, man.
Y'all are sound asleep. I know y'all are sound asleep. But SEC is you're going to get offense, but you're also going to get dominant defense. Yeah. And when you compare those
SEC trenches, Big Ten trenches,
big time.
Out west, weapons, outside corners, receivers, athletic guys, right?
Spread the field.
What's California known for? Athletes.
Okay?
You get your big boys in the middle of the country in the South, and then you get your elite athletes out west.
Yeah. Which is a fair comparison, because I mean, you look at the recruiting classes and when you see these guys coming out, so they tell you where they're from. And majority of your dogs, you guys that play the nasty positions in the trenches, they ain't no pretty boys from California.
No. very rare.
Very rare. True that. But he has a better chance of turning that program around a lot quicker and faster, and implementing his offense, his style of offense, to be successful much easier in the Pac-12 than to go to the SEC. So I'm thinking this is a move from Lincoln Riley for two things. I can get the money, and then I can get quicker to success, because that's the only thing that I haven't done as a college coach is get the big one.
Right.
But
always a bridesmaid, right? Like he's always just outside of the tournament.
He goes to the SEC. That's a longer turnaround. That's a longer route.
He can turn
success.
It around in the conference pretty quickly, but nationally and bowl series,
no.
He's probably Rose Bowl still. I'd be very surprised if they get that team into the tournament. I'd be very, very surprised. I'll give him 3 years. All right, 4 years. That way you have 4 years of your class in there. It's your team. I can't see it at USC. Like, it'll be a great turnaround for them. Win the Pac-12, get to the Rose Bowl year in and year out. But
is it fair to say it's almost a linear move, just more money?
High profile, right?
Yeah.
Instead of buried in the middle of the country, you're now in Los Angeles. That'll be huge out there, but I can't see it.
But that's LA culture. Is that not LA culture? We need the big names that attract to our sports. Yeah. I mean, the Lakers. All right, you got enough names that attract people to the Lakers. And
you steal a guy who's been associated and his name has been dropped with multiple NFL jobs. Jets fans were going crazy and wanted Lincoln Riley last year. They wanted him on the short list. So
to me, that's the biggest surprise. Is that he opt to? To me, it's almost a linear move, just more money. Going from Oklahoma to USC, because Texas is going to be bigger. But I think he's in the same situation where he'll dominate that conference, but it as in like Nick getting the national championships. Can he actually get over the hump? I'm not sure. I still
I
got
don't
my.
think you can talk about that before 2025.
Oh,
honestly.
No, that's. I don't know. I'll probably
Because
say
by
more
then
like
you got all 4 years of his class, his players, it's his program after 4 years.
no, and I get that, but what I'm saying is that because he's going to get the recruits and they're going to be top-notch recruits, and he can play them right away. He's going to get some top 10 recruiting classes. So I'm just saying, like, it as in maturity wise, it'll be best for them to be all around by the fourth year, all recruiting class, his first recruiting class. But I'm just saying, because of the talent level that he's going to bring in, like they can win the Pac-12, but I don't think they'll be good enough to win a playoff game, because athleticism could only get you so far. You going against these Bama and Georgia dudes. They've been sitting behind NFL round ones for the last 2 or 3 years, so they're itching to get to their.
You play 1 year as a junior and you're a top 15 pick because you've
top
been
15 pick.
Yeah,
because you've been sitting around first rounders the last 2 years. You know what I'm saying?
I know you just mentioned Georgia real quick.
Yeah,
Nikki was here with me. You know what he told me? I think I texted you guys this. Jordan Davis, the D tackle on Georgia, who I'm fascinated with, is 26 years old.
Really?
That's what I said. I'm like, you're full of shit, because he's a Bama fan. I like Georgia, so I figured he's just talking shit to me. And he's like, no, Daddy. He's like, I Googled it. He goes, I saw it on a TikTok, and he's 26.
Wow.
He's
Chris
1995.
Remember Chris Winkie was 28 when he came out?
Yeah, Chris Winkie is garbage.
Chris Winkie looked 58 when he came out.
Right.
That man had the chrome dome on top, man. That shit was.
He came out of college with AARP card.
But before we get too deep into some more Lincoln Riley, because I definitely want to hear your take on it, Mel. Congratulations are in order. It only took y'all 8 years to beat the team down south. It only took y'all 8 years. Congratulations.
Hey, well, I tell everybody.
Congratulations.
If you look at, you take all the wins Ohio State beat Michigan. Michigan still has the overall record in beating Ohio State.
No one gives a shit about the 50s and 60s. That's when you stack those wins.
50s, 60s,
70s, 80s. He got to throw them stats out.
90s.
He got to throw them stats out, dog.
And early 2000s.
And early 2000s. Okay, this guy over here. But no, look, it took Harbaugh the sixth chance to get it, but he finally did it. And I just want to raise this point because Nick, I don't know if he was on the show, but we talked about Ohio State's loss to Oregon. And you saw how Oregon ran the ball down their throat. And both me and Mel said that if Ohio State does not get that part fixed, they are in trouble. And they kind of glossed over it a few games because they were putting up high offensive numbers, a lot of points, and defense didn't have to be on the field as much, and they're blowing people out the water. So it got hitting for a while. And then they went to the big house. And Michigan ran the ball down their throat. And that same problem that happened against Oregon reappeared this past Saturday. And I wasn't shocked. I'm just shocked that Ohio State was able to hide that terrible run defense for that long since the last Oregon game.
I mean,
they've been able to hide it because they've been lighting everybody up on offense, which makes you one-dimensional.
Keeps the defense off the field.
That game from Michigan, pun intended here, was the perfect storm. Cold, snowy, slick ball, bad traction on the field. Everything you play that game 9-10 times, Ohio State might win 9 out of 10. But that day was picture perfect for Michigan. So Mel, congratulations to you. I know you're the blue and gold guy here.
Maize and blue.
Maize. I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to.
So I got the Detroit Tiger Michigan hat on. So you turn to the side.
Yeah.
Hold on. You're making me zoom. You gotta make me look old as shit.
No,
I got you.
It's Detroit. It's the Tigers hat with the Michigan logo on the side. So he's feeling real Wolverines right now. He's feeling real Wolverines right now. It's okay.
Good
No.
one.
Look, that's what happens when it takes you like 8 years to beat a. Hey, well, it wasn't even a rivalry the last 8 years. They've been whooping y'all ass for almost a decade. So, look, congratulations.
It was a good game. It was a good game. I mean, Michigan bullied them.
They did.
You know, Haskins 5 touchdowns, 169 yards. I mean, Olave and all them didn't even really get off. They kind of shut down the passing game. You even look at the block assignments that Michigan, they was not missing no kind of block. I mean, tight ends were blocking, the wide receiver. I mean, it's just like they came to play. I don't know if the motivation was because what they said about hanging 100 on them. I don't know if that was their motivation. It's like, we gonna hang 100 on them. Yeah. So now I'd have been like, now we hanging these nuts from your chin.
Earmuffs, Sophia.
But here's my thing. It was a good win, but you need to repeat that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Let's not just live off this win and then next year you get blown out and you got that get blown out. Let's build on that.
You go lose to Iowa in the Big Ten championship because you shot your load on this game.
Right.
Like you're back at square one. Like you didn't do anything with it. You didn't build upon it.
Right. And that's my only thing, you know. Just build upon it, win, get to the playoffs. And then if you lose in the playoffs, all right, nobody expects you to be there anyway. So
I watched that game. I watched the complete game. I flipped to Georgia for a little bit, and then when that was over, 6 minutes in, I checked out Rutgers, and that was over 12 minutes in. So by like 12:15, it was all about watching this game. Me and Nick were watching it. We were talking about it all day. I'm sorry. And that celebration. I'm not a Michigan guy. I'm not a Jim Harbaugh guy. I'm not for or against Michigan as a team.
Right.
That fucking celebration and that energy and seeing the fans and Jim Harbaugh had his Steve Young take the monkey off the back moment, right? Like finally I did it, you know. Good for the players. No homo. I love Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh yeah, he's
holy fuck, make him a Jet. He's a Bosa, and if you took the 2 Bosas and the 2 Watts and combined all 4 of them, you got Aiden Hutchinson. He's
that pass rush. That pass rush was on point for Michigan.
He's phenomenal. And if you're Detroit Lions picking number 1,
you better grab him.
You cannot take him and edit.
Right. You better get him.
Like I think he may have played his way into the number 1 pick, passing Thibodeau in Oregon. Like that all around leadership motor was fucking amazing.
Thibodeau is hurting his way out the number 1 pick. He is hurting his way out the number 1 pick. How many injuries has this man had this year?
And it's not. And he got bounced out of the Stanford game for targeting.
Yeah,
Stanford. I watched.
And that cost him that game.
Play.
And it cost him that game.
Yeah, yeah. When he went out, they drove right down the field with ease. But if you're building a team, and you need an edge rusher, why wouldn't you go get him? He can play the run. He's not a liability in the run. He can set the edge. He can bull rush through elite. Ohio State's got elite linemen. They're probably most of them are gonna go pro. He's putting one hand in the chest, driving guys back, throwing them off, and then chasing 12, 15 yards to the side and making plays.
Michigan dominated.
Michigan get him.
Michigan dominated the trip.
I mean, they shut him out in the third quarter, man. Whole third quarter, Ohio State didn't even score. And every possession Michigan got in the second half, they scored.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of game you like to see.
O.W. Am I saying
that? Yeah, O.W. That's right.
Fucking, he's a sick freak too.
Bruh. Look, Michigan y'all did y'all thing. Yeah. But I'm telling you, you can't let Iowa trap y'all.
No, you can't sleep on Iowa. I mean, Iowa defense is nice.
Yeah,
that's their defense. They're
evenly matched, right? Because they both want to beat you in the trenches, run the ball. Linderbaum's a fucking stud on the Iowa line. He's a center who might go in the top 10, which is unprecedented in the NFL.
I'm just not impressed with Iowa's offense.
Yeah, Iowa's offense is struggling. They don't have the weapons.
Teams. Michigan's a better passing team, But both of those teams want to do the same thing. They want to line up. They want to punch you in the mouth. They want to control the clock. They want to move the chains. They'll take 3 rushes and get 11 yards. They're fine with that. Like, it's going to be a game I like, an old school fucking brawl.
A slobber knocker like JR.
It's Big John Studd against Andre the Giant. Dudes just railing on him.
We got a slobber knocker on our hands.
Looks like a car wreck on I-95.
But no, but real quick, Mel, what do you think of Lincoln Riley's move from Oklahoma to USC? Real quick, and then we'll move to some other topics.
I think it's a good move for him. I don't know, because of the kind of person I am. I think that for me, I would have stayed because I want to see what I can do in the SEC. That's just me. Yeah. You know, I'm the type of person. I want that challenge. You know, so I can see where am I really at, measured at. You know, I go to USC, high profile, part more money. You know, you in LA, it's a lot more stuff to do in LA than there is to do in Norman. You know, so you have all that. That's fine. However,
there's no cow tipping in Los Angeles.
You gotta go to Northern California for that. You know, but on the other hand, I'm looking at, well, if I'm in the SEC, now I can see how great of a coach I really can be, how great a recruiter I could be, because now I got to recruit against Alabama, Georgia, Florida. You know, the rest of them don't really count.
But. And you're losing that.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
You're losing that. You're going to get embarrassed in trenches. So it's almost like a scaredy cat move, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to make the safe move.
That was my initial thing about it. You know what I'm saying? Well, dang, you're going to take the easy way out.
That's similar to what I said. If you go to you go to USC in the Pac-12, that's a quicker transition to success than in the SEC. That's not going to be.
It's a safe move, right? It's
definitely a safe move.
Maybe I don't believe in myself. I'm going to run to the money.
Hey, bro.
And he was on record, and I'm going to have to paraphrase, saying something like he didn't really like the move to Oklahoma going to the SEC because he didn't feel that he had the right tools in Oklahoma to compete with the SEC teams.
Yeah. Defensive line.
That's kind of what he said on record. You know what I'm saying? So my thing was like, it's not a surprise then him going to USC, but at the same time, let's work on getting those tools so we could become an elite program. Because as long as you stay in the Big Ten, what is it, the Pac? I can't say that. What? Thank you, the Big 12. The Big 12. As long as you stay in the Big 12, it's good. I don't care how good Oklahoma would have been, it still would have been compared to the SEC team. Because it's like, okay, but you at Oklahoma, who do you really play? Yeah, you may play better teams than the Pac-12, but who do you really play?
I think the SEC and you end up being 500 and you're losing to Ole Miss and Mississippi State and Tennessee and Florida. They're like the mid-level teams.
Right.
You look like a massive failure.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the Pac-12 and then you become the marquee coach name in the Pac-12.
Right.
It's fight or flight, right? He chose fight. I'm gonna fly out west.
It's unfortunate. That's the culture that college football has, is that, you know, you're measured on your wins, losses, and how pretty they look. Yeah. And no one. It's like when we were talking about on the last show, Nick, about Mac Jones. You know what I'm saying? When I was looking at him, I didn't just look at, you know, I looked at the intangible things. But those people are not going to do that when it comes to, if he went to SEC. If you got 500, you still have to put that in the context of where he's at. You know, and if he's moving forward with that, then you can say he's a success. But most people look at it as a failure. In 2 or 3 years, they might bump him out and get a new coach. Yeah. But but he's up against a hard task in the SEC. But to me, it's like, what are you here for? You know, if I'm here for the money, you go to USC. If I'm here to coach and become a great coach and coach to the best of the best, I'm going to the SEC and try to see what I can do in the SEC. That's just me.
Some people aren't built for that, man. Some
you're right.
people might not believe in themselves or believe they can do it on that level. So you take the job stability where you're going to be, you go to the NFL and your shit don't work. Not everybody gets that Nick Saban chance to go take over an elite program after failing in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He takes the safe play. He's still young.
Right.
He's still very, very young.
Right,
He
right.
can coach for another 30, 40 years.
Mhm.
So who knows? Maybe he goes on to win national championships. Like USC is not his last stop. I don't see him being a paterno without him and being a lifer.
No,
Right.
He left Oklahoma, which is a top 10 program.
This is his next step to the NFL, because if he didn't jump to the NFL after Oklahoma or to the SEC after Oklahoma, this is his final stop in college, I believe, before he jumps to the NFL.
You might be right.
Maybe. I mean, Urban Meyer be gone anyway, so he can go down to Jacksonville.
Hey, he turns around USC in 5 years, and then they're talked about with you get that right recruit. Look at Debo and Clemson. You get Deshaun Watson followed by Trevor Lawrence. You write your ticket wherever you go. Like if you get that marquee player who carries your program, look at Debo now. Debo was on top of the world. You don't have those two quarterbacks, and you're barely ranked.
Right.
So the sports world can humble you very quickly. That's why I think maybe he bounced, because he didn't want to be humbled. He'd rather go to a place where he's going to be worshipped. They're going to have patience with him. They're going to have, we'll give you whatever you need. We'll now we can pay players, so we'll fucking pay for players.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's a bitch move. Like that's my honest assessment. I think it's a fucking pure. Sophia, I'm sorry if you're watching, baby. I know you.
No.
It's a no balls move. I'm taking a safe play.
You are literally just saying what we're all saying. You're just saying it a little bit.
I put it in my terms.
What we are. Of course. Because look, man, and that's that's what led me to my conclusion of the move. I'm like, you just got more money. You're in the same situation as Oklahoma, as USC. There's not going to be a lot of defense. You're still going to have top recruits. You're still going to have top athletes. But the only problem is, when it comes playoff time, you're going to go against that SEC team, and you're going to get your head smacked because you don't have the tougher team. Period. You don't have.
How did USC do this year? You guys even? I can't open it. I only
They
have
was 3. They was 3-7.
USC
3-7.
No.
So he goes 5-5 next year. He's a fucking savior.
USC wasn't nothing to talk about. They fired Clay Helton like a quarter into the season. That's how trash they were. All right, if that sums it up. And
let's talk about bringing back Matt Leinart.
I think he still has a year of eligibility.
Right.
They was digging. They was like, man, does Matt have eligibility? Can somebody check on Reggie Bush's situation too? Let's see if Lindell White kept the weight off. Let's see if he can come in.
Where Marcus Allen at? Somebody bring OJ out of jail.
Well, they was checking all kind of eligibility.
Ronnie Lott still complain.
Bro, I'm telling you, they were doing all kind of deep dive into damn people's eligibility, because they were just terrible this year. Like, USC wasn't even nothing, and that's what it is. You bring in a guy like Lincoln Riley that brings some kind of mystique back to USC, because it's been down. It's been down. He's the popular choice. It's California. We need the big name. Where's the big name coaching hire that can attract these great athletes and possibly, bring back some glory days that left with Pete Carroll. You know what I'm saying? And this is exactly what this type of move is. And I don't blame them.
Suspension, their punishment's over too, right?
It's almost about up. Yeah, because they struggled. They almost got a knockoff on BYU last weekend. So yeah, overall 4-17. They were terrible. But
are they still NCAA punished, or did that end?
No,
did they have a punishment over that shit with Reggie?
I think that has since elapsed, as in like the postseason ban. I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah.
Which
perfect. Say the ban goes one more year. You have like your free year where there's no expectations, because at this point he doesn't have many kids he can sign coming into 2022.
Or his numbers is limited from other schools because of the ban. Yeah, I get.
But now with the transfer portal, you're going to see probably some names jump.
Hey, did you see what happened? Lincoln Riley leaves OU, and now Spencer Rattler put his name in the portal. I don't know.
I'm sure that's gonna happen. And that would be the perfect place for that kid.
And Rattler's from Arizona, so he's used to SC as a West Coast team.
Oh, you got Arizona and Arizona State in the Pac-12 too. We mentioned that earlier.
Oh yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Spencer follows him to USC. I'm not sure if he's still feeling bitter about getting benched, but I wouldn't be surprised if Spencer Rattler followed Lincoln Riley to USC. I wouldn't
Amongst
be
others,
surprised.
right?
Yeah. Oh, bro. And
If you're a freshman and you didn't get to play, and Riley came into your living room with your parents and made all these promises to you, some of those guys are gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna follow this guy. This guy said he's gonna get me to the league. I'll go out to LA. I'll be famous. You know, you win in USC, you're a fucking celebrity in college.
Bro, you'll get seen. You will get seen.
Yeah. You'll be fucking a Kardashian by your sophomore.
Hey, fellas, football fellas,
get in line.
Stay away from the Kardashian.
Yeah.
Stay away. Anything that has a Kardashian or Jenner as your last name, go the opposite way. Go the opposite way. Like
they messing folks
up. Way. Turn into a female.
No, opposite way. look. If that's what it takes to stay away from them, then hell, I don't care. Stay away from them damn Kardashian.
You went to college as a freshman named Marquise. You end as a senior named Caitlin.
Stay away from them, bro. It's toxic, man. There's something about them, but no. Now that you got Ohio State getting bumped out, and they're going to release the college football rankings tomorrow. Before
Michigan's number 2.
I
seen it already.
Oh, you
that's
already
the
seen
rankings. That's not the BCS.
Are you talking about the BCS
rankings?
They're
different. They factor in computers, and both of the rankings doesn't equate to the BCS.
That's why I said B.
Of course, Georgia's number 1. That's
that's go without saying.
So it's 2, 3, and 4 that I'm curious to hear. I would put me personally. I will put Michigan 2. I will put Cincinnati 3, and I will put Bama 4.
Okay.
I got no issue with that.
That's not
okay.
I mean,
2 and 3 are interchangeable, so it's not like it's baseball standings and I'm home away. It's a neutral site.
Mm-hmm.
So 2, 3 are interchangeable. So if you have Cincy 2 who's undefeated, Michigan, I agree with either way. Okay. Either way, those 2 come out.
I just wanted to be clear that where Bama sits. I'm okay with putting Bama 4.
I think that, and they didn't look impressive the other night.
They didn't.
There was even though somebody was at Buffalo Wild Wings hitting the fucking button like, yo, we need Bama to win. 3.5 quarters, and then they score 10 points like the last 8 minutes.
Yeah,
Did they not look good?
Yeah, but the crazy thing is Auburn, that's their like 3rd or 4th straight double-digit game given up. So,
but here, don't be surprised.
Out Knicks too. That kid looked pretty good, and it has the backup.
Don't be surprised they try to sneak Notre Dame in there.
Come on,
because you keep hearing all the talk, you keep hearing it, and you just keep hearing it. I won't be surprised.
There's no way.
I don't say I agree with it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I can see them putting him at 5, not in the top 4. No way.
But if Alabama loses,
they lose to Georgia.
Alabama at 4.
Yeah, they lose to Georgia. They got to drop.
They lose to Georgia, and they got 2 losses. Like, I know they make the money, and then.
Yeah, but that's something different. That's something different.
I don't hate Notre Dame, the team.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the aura of Notre Dame because they're a media darling. They're not in a conference. They beat up on these fucking cupcakes. They slide up the rankings as everyone's playing conference schedules, and those guys come down. Mm-hmm. And then by attrition at the end of the year, they're playing what? USC lately suck. Stanford sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Boston College sucked. They're
going
playing
through
teams.
the ACC.
And now the ACC sucks. An old Clemson team would have annihilated you, and we wouldn't have to hear about this.
Right.
But now they're going to slide in because Auburn has to play it, or Alabama has to play a top team. Alabama comes down. Ohio State played Michigan. Ohio State comes down. There's no fucking way you can tell me Ohio State isn't better than Notre Dame. I'd rather see Ohio State get back in.
Yeah, but those 2 losses was hurting them right now.
I know, but
that's what's hurting them.
I know.
No, and I get it. I get what you're saying, nigga. I'm with you. I don't see how a team like Notre Dame, whose schedule really isn't up to par to Bama's, and the only way I see Notre Dame ahead of Alabama sneaking into number 4 is you have to Bama has to lose to Georgia. But if say for instance, for hypothetical, I know we don't really talk in hypothetical, but if Bama beats Georgia this weekend,
that's great because then Notre Dame's out.
That's what I'm saying. I would still put up one loss Georgia.
Georgia still be in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
100% agree.
Georgia could lose 70-0, and Georgia's still in.
Right.
So that will move Michigan up to probably number 1. I would pay Cincinnati probably 2, or no, probably Bama either 2 or 1, regardless, and maybe Cincinnati 3. So you can have Bama or Michigan at number 1 and 2, and I would still put Georgia at 4 if that was to happen this Saturday. At the end of the day, Notre Dame, who was already beaten by Cincinnati, I don't think they have the significant wins on their resume to even compare to a one-loss Georgia or a one-loss Bama or a one-loss Michigan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I take Michigan's schedule over Notre Dame's. So
let me throw this out for you guys, because I had this discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you put Notre Dame in the SEC, where are they scheduled? What's their record if they play?
They the SEC Kentucky.
Kentucky? I have them Florida.
Kentucky of O. Kentucky of O.
I have them Florida, Tennessee level. I think Texas A&M beats them. I think Ole Miss beats them. Yes. Georgia and Bama beat them. Auburn. I think they're in Auburn. They're about like.
I think they're middle of the pack. They're middle of the pack SEC.
Yeah. But they for you, they're the media darling. Mm-hmm. They got their own channel. No one puts college football on Channel 4.
There'll be a 5-5, kind of, slightly above 500 or slightly below 500 team.
Yeah,
they're not going to do anything that's going to shock you or do anything great or do anything.
But
outrageous.
Based on their weak ass schedule and the media darling that they are, they rise, and it's pathetic. It's the biggest atrocity in college sports.
Mm-hmm.
Kids not getting paid was number 1, and now they work that out. Notre Dame not really having a conference and a home, and the only reason they have the ACC is because COVID, and they couldn't play out of their conference schedules, so they had to say, "Oh, we're in the ACC for basketball. We'll jump in with football." But then the ACC said, "Yeah, you got to do it for 2 years." I'm almost certain it was 2. So
because they signed that contract. Next year. Yeah, they're going. That was a money move at the same time, and
they had to because they wouldn't have had a schedule.
Yes, because of COVID. You're right, but you also it probably benefits them to go back into independently making their schedule instead of sticking with just a certain conference. Like if they're going to do what they need to do, like they need to put Michigan State back on their schedule. They need to put. I would say right now, because of Lincoln Riley, keep Lincoln Riley and USC on their schedule. I would cherry pick from the Big 10, Pac-12, Big 12, a couple of teams from the ACC, and they have to schedule one big dog from the SEC. If they did their schedule,
you're right in Big 10 country. You're in Indiana. Right,
and
Indiana, right? South Bend. Yeah.
Yes, but I get what you're saying.
Right there. Illinois, Indiana, Michigan.
But Nick, let me ask you this: outside of Ohio State, Michigan State, and the Big 10, what significant wins can you get inside the Big 10 besides those 3 teams?
Well, it depends what division you get put in. If you're in the one division, you got Ohio State, Michigan State, Penn State, Rutgers too. If you go into the other division, it's Wisconsin.
That's a nice schedule.
You got Iowa, you got Wisconsin. Those are significant wins. They still cannot. What does that say?
No,
in my opinion,
yeah, they're talking soccer.
Soccer. Okay, because that's Hebrew. Arabic. So they probably that's Hebrew.
Hebrew. Okay,
that's Hebrew. I study Hebrew. That's Hebrew.
Oh, okay.
I can't speak for soccer.
Well, with me personally, I've always been a CR7 kind of guy. I love Cristiano Ronaldo. I like the flash of CR7, and pretty much anytime he's near the goal in the football or the soccer ball, we call it soccer, is near his foot. Good luck. And don't get me wrong, Messi just won the Ballon d'Or trophy again.
Mm-hmm.
He just won it again. But it's always been between him and Messi the last almost decade and a half. So I know that trophy probably don't, people don't probably live and die by that trophy who gets it as the best footballer for the year. But I mean, it means something. So I mean, they don't hand that out to anybody. So
Right.
But no, let's go ahead and
Hey, shout out to whoever it is. I mean, my Hebrew is not that great, but
oh, you
shout
know,
out.
Rusty.
Yeah, I haven't studied in a while. I just know I recognize it, but I haven't studied in a while. But shout out to I guess you over in Israel or somewhere in that part of the region. Hey, thanks for tuning in.
Yes,
We
yes, definitely
appreciate it.
Good
appreciate
shit.
it.
We're international now.
We're
motherfucker.
trying to go worldwide.
Worldwide, international
Worldwide.
players, dog.
And I gotta brush up on my soccer too.
Man, I gotta get a fucking passport now, man. We're doing the world tour.
No, because I was in Kansas City, and then our MLS team, Sporting Kansas City, got bumped out the semifinals.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
But I mean, Real Salt Lake, so the team in Utah, they've had our numbers, so I wasn't surprised by the outcome. But let's table aside some college sports. We didn't talk about CFP rankings, Lincoln Riley, all kind of things. Let's take it back to Thursday. Let's get some NFL talk in. We're at 5:10 at the hour, so
I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Because I said this to Mel the other day. He agreed. I'll see if you agree. Can we bring up one topic before we go NFL? Because once we go NFL, we know we're never getting off of it, right?
All right, let it off your chest, homie.
Go ahead. Not to play it.
Can we talk about this fucking Max Scherzer contract to the Mets?
3 years, 130.
And the Mets is trying to get some.
I mean,
they're trying to build some players
who projected that Scherzer would get like a 3-year, $60 million deal. The Mets went 2.5 times, and I guess they had to because I don't know if he used the Mets and was like, "Yo, I'm LA."
Hey, there's some big deals getting handed out in the MLB right now. Corey Seager just got a 10-year, $325 from the Rangers, so he goes from LA to Texas.
10 years, $325.
10 years, $325, man.
Wow.
These baseball contracts, they're so benefited for the organization because you get an all-star player for 10 years, and I know it's guaranteed, but there's an opt-out clause, and so by the time he hits the back half of that contract, the team can just be like, "Yeah, thank you," and you don't pay him shit.
The thing about baseball, if you compare baseball, and we know it's not an apple-to-apple comparison, but you look at baseball compared to like basketball, football, you can be 35 in baseball and still be productive.
Yeah,
true.
You know, look at Verlander.
Right. Look at Scherzer. The man is like 38, I believe.
Yeah. And that's why
got a 3-year, $130 million contract.
35-year-old A-Rod, 35-year-old Pujols, 35-year-old Bonds. They were all on top of the sport in their mid-30s.
That's why you can get those 10-year contracts and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's 37. Scherzer's 37.
You know, if you have
3 years, 130, bro.
You got a player in their 20s.
Yeah.
You give them a 10-year contract, and in their 30s, they still gonna be productive. Yeah. Theoretically. Hey,
Mel. They're not putting as much out as NFL and basketball do.
Right.
You just bring me up to the next trend that's happening in the Major League Baseball. So you saw that the Padres.
Everybody beat up on their girlfriend?
No, no, not that.
Wrong topic.
Wrong topic.
Now segue into Kareem Huntstad.
But no, because you're talking about signing these 20-year-olds early. So you saw the Padres went ahead and they didn't have to sign Tatis early. They signed him at like 21 years old for that long-term contract. And then you just saw the Tampa Bay Rays just do the same thing with Wander Franco. He's 20 years old, and they just signed him to what I think
14 years. 14 years, 185. That could get up to 225, I believe.
Yeah,
the Franco deal.
So
what started this trend? Giancarlo Stanton. He was young at 19 and signed the 14-year extension. That now the Yankees have until he's 33.
Yeah. Well, but if you think about it, I say it's a team-friendly deal because if the Major League Baseball cap salary is able to balloon year in and year out and make more money, those players won't be at the top of that pay range because that cap keeps getting moved up. But they're already stuck into that contract. That's a big if. Here's my thing is when you starting to see, Tatis and Wander Franco get signed in the 20s, in the early 20s, they're not even letting them see free agency. And so
free agency, they're not even letting them get anywhere near arbitration.
Well, of
Right.
course, but that's what I'm saying. You don't even let them, reset the market value for their position. You give them the
You
money
take them on the
now.
cheap, right?
Yes,
Mhm.
Instead of making
technically,
$500,000 for 4 years, we'll pay you $18 million. So even though the back end of the contract is still $18 million a year, you're making basically, if you played the arbitration out and you took the renegotiation every year when you hit arbitration, you're making $100 million more by signing early. So you don't need the $400 million contract, because then
No.
you'd have to wait 4 or 5 years to get that. You're
Yeah.
taking the money now and you're
Yeah,
getting it up front, basically.
hit me up front, because by the
Yes.
time I get to the second half of that 10-year contract, who knows if my production is even going to be the same? Who knows if the team situation is going to be the same? And there's got to be a clause in there that we can just break it and we go our separate ways. So that's why I think it's best for a team to go
Mhm.
ahead and sign these well-known names early and forget arbitration, forget free agency, forget all that. We'll pay you up front, and what's the worst that can happen? We'll get your best years while you're in our uniform, and then we'll see what happens comes second half of that contract. You know what I'm
Then
saying?
it's great for the player.
Yes,
Now you're 33, and then you can hit the market. And who knows?
you can
14
resign.
years from now,
You
it
can
could be
resign.
5-year, $500 million deal.
Right.
You know,
Bro, if and look, if Serzer's 37 getting 3 years, 130, you're like, shit, I can do a 3-year, $130 million contract. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? This man is getting 130 for 3 years.
3
Wow.
years.
crazy.
Wow.
But the Mets need that. Like,
Yeah,
They still have some other players too.
if it was the Dodgers, it's probably 3 years, 75, because he wanted to be there. So the Mets had to almost double the contract value to get him.
They pretty much said, we have to make it known that Scherzer, we want you this damn bad, and we're willing to overpay for it because we need you.
$44 million for a guy who pitches 30 times, maybe 33 max.
Yeah, but who else they got in the rotation? Me and you talked about it the other day, Nick. Syndergaard is gone. Matz is gone. Harvey's been gone.
DeGrom can't stay healthy.
DeGrom can't stay healthy. I mean, you're every year. Was it almost like 6-7 years ago? Everybody was praising the Mets rotation. Now you can't even field your starting rotation coming out of spring training because somebody is either hurt, or they've moved on. So it's like the Mets
are like the JJ Watt, right? Don't pitch in April. Wait till like July. And DeGrom out. I think we talked about that. I was like, don't pitch DeGrom in April and May. Who gives a shit about April and May? Bring DeGrom out in like July so he's ready for a postseason push.
Because right now, you look at the Mets who are playing Francisco Lindor, who had a down year in his first year in the Mets.
And you see that though. Whenever guys change leagues, you see that it takes a while because you have no familiarity with the pitchers, right? So it takes hitters a little bit. I always hated, for 25 years, I've hated when the Yankees signed National League hitters because you don't have familiarity.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think Lindor will be fine long term. I think it was the typical New York fucking panic that happens up here.
Yeah,
but once now he's.
But you also look at Javier Baez, who I think they should just go ahead and let him go, let him walk, because that just didn't work out. And you talking about a National League player who's been in the National League and he slumped very hard. Now I don't know if you pay him. I truly don't know, but there's been some movement. Right now you see the Mets are doing the same thing that the Padres did last year. Go big heavy in the free agency. We just need it to translate. I don't want to say the Mets will be the Mets, but until the Mets stop being the Mets, until the Mets can stop showing that they're not going to be the Mets, then I still have a big question mark on them right now, even with all those, even with all the moves. I need the proof
of guys staying healthy, getting hot in April and May, being up.
I just want the proof. That's all.
I need to see it long term. Like, don't tell me in April and May we're the best team in baseball because you did that this year, and look what happened.
I agree. They got to prove it.
And I'm not saying that to
come
be
on, Mets, prove it to us. Show us the P stick.
God bless my father. Rest in peace, Dad. Like, my father's probably fucking going crazy in heaven today that they got Scherzer. And he's got familiarity with the division. He's dominated the division. He's got 3,000 strikeouts. I looked it up today for his career. So he's been around. He's been fantastic. He's been elite. It's a nice pickup for them. And it's a good – it's not a 7-year deal where he's going to be 85 years old and you're still paying him.
Right.
It's a good 3-year deal. And it's good for the Mets because –
and here's the thing about Scherzer. He hasn't shown that he's going to break down or he's doing a lot of injury list visits. So he's not doing a lot of that. He might skip a start or two just to keep the soreness off or keep his stamina up. But he's not hitting your injury list a lot. He's not breaking down. I mean. Don't quote me, guys, but I don't see a lot of injury list visits with Max Scherzer. So you get that stability because he's going to be available. But you got 4 other spots in that starting rotation you got to fill in. They still need to get aggressive with that because it's okay to have Max Scherzer, but what are you going to follow it up with?
You need to find guys who could pitch 30+ games.
Yes.
Don't go for the guy with the great arm who pitches 14 starts and misses 3 months of the season. Go find guys that can go start to finish. Find the durable arm. Maybe only throws 94, which nowadays is weak, right? Don't get the guy who's going to need Tommy John. Get the guy who's had Tommy John, and his arm is better than it's ever been. So I'm not a Met fan. I think it's kind of ironic, though, that Mets fans for years – decades have trashed the Yankees because the Yankees would outspend everybody. But now that they have a fucking owner that does it, they're going fucking bananas, man.
Because they've probably been asking for the Mets management to spend money a long time ago. They're still paying Bobby Bonilla. Come on, let's be honest.
When these 14-year contracts from Tatis and Franco and everyone else expire, Bobby Bonilla will still be getting paid 1 more year longer than these guys will. It's
whoever his agent was ahead of his time, and that was probably one of the smartest moves I ever seen contract wise.
You're right. They too busy paying the women off. Just saying.
I can't. Look, there's been a lot of movement. You see Guzman moves. He goes to the Blue Jays from San Francisco, so I'm not sure where that leaves San Francisco. Of course, the Dodgers lose Scherzer. They also lose Corey Seager, but they have Trey Turner, so I'm not really worried about them losing Corey Seager. Trey Turner is definitely that was probably one of the best things that they did in that trade midsummer, getting Scherzer and Trey Turner in that deal for the Nationals. I mean, I don't know how the Nationals just let go of both of them. I don't know how the hell that happens, but now Scherzer's back in the division. He's going to haunt him again. Look,
right? Like you basically, through domino effect, gave the Mets Scherzer.
And then Marcell Ozuna just got suspended 20 games. He's a piece of shit. So I would hope he would have got more. The Mariners got reigning Cy Young winner Robbie Ray from the Blue Jays. So there's some movement there. Look, it's still early in free agency in Major League Baseball. You're going to see all these crazy contracts coming in, and we'll do our best to kind of stay on top of them for all our baseball heads out there. Let's talk. We got to talk about the Lakers real quick before we get into NFL because I know how we get. I just want to get it off. Well, no, it's kind of like
talk about the Lakers.
Yeah, it just is what it is. I wasn't able to give my take on the whole LeBron and Mitchell situation. It was a bitch move. LeBron can fake all he want. He deliberately hit that dude in the mouth, and then he backed up once he saw that dude wasn't playing.
Stewart. You said Mitchell.
Oh, Stewart. Mitchell Stewart, whatever his name is. Stewart.
Yeah.
Y'all know what I'm talking about. Look, Stewart only got 2 games because it just the imagery of him just being a wild man. So I don't care about that. Whatever.
They should have signed him to the Lions the way he was running through all the people.
Oh yeah, they should have. Hey,
he's a Dan Campbell guy. We're gonna bleed from the head.
We're gonna bite off kneecaps.
Yo, that's funny right there, though. That's good. So I understand him getting 2 games. I knew he was going to get more than LeBron
Yeah, but
anyway.
$950,000 fine. Come on, man.
If that's the case,
he ain't
if
even
that's
making
the
that
case,
much.
yeah, he probably not. I hope that's not a true statement of 950,000.
Yeah, I saw that. I read that. I was like, I hope that's not true, man.
Yeah, I hope it's not true because
and LeBron can pay that without no problem. He can't.
Nah, he can't. 2 different salaries easily.
Right.
LeBron,
you find me 950,000. I'm going to find LeBron. I'm pulling up.
Oh, we fighting for real.
I'm pulling up.
Yeah.
I gotta take this 950 out your ass, nigga.
I'm putting his ass down. I'm taking this DeWalt drill and I'm just drilling holes in his knee.
I'm pulling up. I'm taking this all out your ass.
We gotta fight for real.
We gotta fight for real. And bring Russell and Carmelo too.
Breaking news: Triller has just announced that
Stewart versus
Snoop
LeBron
Dogg will be on the commentary.
But no, look, LeBron was a sissy move to try to act brand new, like you didn't know what you was doing, but that's one of the things that's always bothered me about him. I won't take away from what he does off the court as a man, in the community, for our people, for his family. I'm not taking that away from him. I've always disliked the silliness on the court, like all the flopping and the crying and the whining. And this is just another example of you just, being too big. And look, LeBron was in the headlines a lot last week. And it just shows that
Kicking people out the stadium.
LeBron for kicking Alanis Morissette out of the game?
Bro, look, I get it. Fans are going to heckle, do they cross the line more times than not? They probably do. But for him to literally go point them out and got them kicked out, them damn courtside seats ain't cheap. Them was front row courtside seats, and he got the
even
pool.
in Indiana, they're not cheap.
He got the pool even in Indiana. You're right, they not cheap. That cost him a cow or two to get them front row seats.
Yeah, a couple of goats.
Yeah, a couple of goats and cows. So that's a couple of bands right there for to go see LeBron get kicked out.
Say that you had to come with the ref. It's these fuckers right here. Get these motherfuckers.
I mean, let's say something.
Say something about your
son.
like, we need to get you out of here. You're cursing at fans. It's a horrible image for the NBA.
Let's say something about I'm gonna kill your son or something that drastic.
Well, that's what's being reported. They're saying they were going that hope your son Bronny gets in a car accident and died. That's what's been reported.
Nah, that's too far. That is too far.
The die part is too far. The car accident, I'm playing. But no, you can't say shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's too far.
But there was a video. Did you see the video somebody put together? It was a comparative video of Jordan. And Jordan had someone talking trash to him. And you could hear what the fan was yelling.
Yeah.
And Jordan engaged it. Jordan hit the 3 and like, yo, I'm about to go off on you.
Yeah.
He's sitting on the bench and Jordan's pointing across the court because the guy had front row. He's like, that's for you. Yeah. I got more. Just watch. I got more. It's a difference in mentality.
Yeah, you're right.
One's a victim. One's a dominator.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
You can't. Come on.
So you're saying me that Jordan is your GOAT? Just say it.
It's not a conversation. It's not a anybody.
I'm just saying. Just say it, dog.
You will hear me praise Cam for MVP this year before you ever hear me say LeBron is better than Michael. They're different players. There's a thing about Kobe. Kobe had a quote. What player in the league would you have liked to play with? He said LeBron. LeBron's a facilitator. Kobe's the assassin scorer. Jordan's the assassin scorer.
Right.
KD's the assassin scorer.
Right.
Steph. LeBron is a Magic. LeBron's a Scottie Pippen. LeBron is the athletic. I can play PowerPoint. I can play power forward. He can guard Karl Malone one night, but then he could be out on Clay or even Steph the next night.
Mm-hmm.
It's they're not comparative players. Like, to me, LeBron's a big man who can play guard.
Mm-hmm.
Guards are guards, but LeBron's a big man who has a skill set of a guard.
Okay.
So you can't compare the two. They're not comparable because their games aren't equal. Kobe compares to Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kobe mimicked his game after Michael.
Right.
Said it a million times. I wanted to be Mike, the fadeaway jump shot. He wanted to be Michael. He mimicked his game after. LeBron's not like that. Like, the people who make these comparisons are just reaching. I can't consider, like, I can never compare Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to Isaiah Thomas.
Right.
Because they don't play the same position. They don't have the same skill set. They don't do the same thing. Same with LeBron and Michael.
That's fair. Fair. Hey.
But your point about how Michael handled it, how LeBron handled it, is a great point. You know, and it also it speaks to the mentality of each individual. You know, some people can hear you say certain things and it's not their trigger. They just, okay, whatever, and keep on playing and engage you that way. And certain things are certain people's triggers. You know, now maybe you said something like you told Michael, I bet you missed that shot. You know, Michael, that's something that's his trigger.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
but he likes to gamble. He'll take that bet, though.
He'll take that bet.
How does LeBron hear it? But the referees who are running up and down the court right in front of on the sideline don't hear it.
Maybe they heard it, didn't pay attention to it.
Oh man, you hear, I hope your son dies in a car accident. That's going to be a head turner. I don't care how focused you are on your job. That's crossing the line. And if that's true,
I'm willing.
I take it back on that, but I haven't heard.
No, it's funny you say that, Nick, because I'm willing to bet that the refs probably ignored it, and it wasn't until LeBron had brought it up to their attention, and probably just disliked the fact that they were talking like that.
Let me give you this example.
Yeah.
All right, someone say something that's going to infuriate somebody else. You already know that. So the first time you hear it, you might ignore it just so you can keep the drama down. You know, so somebody say don't say nothing. You might, all right, I ain't gonna say nothing because I'm trying to keep the drama down, keep the game going. Now, someone continues to say something, then they forcing you to have to address it as a ref. I'm talking about as a ref. That's to me, that's more of the refs engages that and say, hey, look.
To
settle down, whatever it is. Go ahead.
Of what you're saying, Mel, the reports that I saw is that the fans were unruly from the beginning, and they had team staff officials gave them a warning, was like, hey, pipe down, quiet down. They didn't say the refs, they said team officials for the Indiana Pacers. They kind of gave them like, yo, pipe down, quiet down. Because this happened to me before. I've been to a minor league baseball game, and the officials came over like, hey, quiet down a little bit, and I was drunk and shit, but so that will happen. So and apparently they ignored the warning, and then eventually LeBron took it in his hands. So
let me ask you something.
That's the point.
If team officials come over, where the fuck is arena security?
Right.
Because at that point, if team officials who are on the other side of the court are coming over to address you, you got to figure security in the arena.
Should have heard it.
You're going to go within earshot. And if you do it again, tap on the shoulder, we got to go.
Yeah.
So I think Indiana, the arena, Seiko Fieldhouse, whatever the hell it's called now, it's probably like, I don't know, Pornhub Arena. Crazy freaking things going out.
GoHerd.com. I don't know.
But where the hell are they? Why does the NBA player have to point to the ref, bring them over, and be like, get them out? If they didn't hear anything, how does the ref even say get them out? Like, security in the arena should have handled it. Not the team.
I agree with that.
So they dropped the ball as a whole.
You're right.
I'm sure they probably redone their protocols after this happening, because it looks like a black eye on them. Like, how do you have players yelling this? Whether you got to put, whatever you call them, not undercover, but regular dressed people out in the area to hear and listen. It's a black eye on them as an arena that had to happen.
Well, let's just look at the NBA as a whole. You had all kind of issues last year in the playoffs of visiting players getting popcorn thrown at them, water bottles thrown at them, and said stuff to them. So
Boston is different. We can't include Boston
because they've been heathens
from Boston.
Man,
From Boston are
Boston
grow pieces of shit.
Hey, Boston grow racists in labs.
Boston's so racist, man.
They grow racists in labs. They be churning them out.
Boston is so racist that they email John Gruden every day with new shit.
They be critiquing his emails.
Yeah, like, John, you didn't really word that properly.
Yeah, I don't think you said that right. Not enough N words in here.
Yeah. You got to capitalize the whole word.
You know what I'm saying?
In the beginning.
You are not at the quota.
Wow. And no, you're not wrong about that, nigga. I've been to Boston a couple
Boston
of times.
loved half of Derek Jeter. That's how fucking
Right.
No, I've been to Boston a couple times. I know how it is up there.
God bless you for making
Oh,
it.
you dang, Doctors, I know you was in trouble.
Man, shut your ass up. you
I was like, he's a
Kevin Garnett and Robert Parrish are the only two
Right.
dark-skinned guys to ever be beloved in Boston.
Hey, you got to play sports. You got to win.
Why do you think all Tom Brady's receivers were white? It's the only people that they would accept up there.
You know, they love Randy. That was about it. That was it.
But he was a rental.
He was a
Right.
rental.
I knew he was
Bad
going
term
back.
to use, but they didn't own him.
Right. Hold on, wait a minute with the owning Randy thing.
We had definitely gone off the rails. No, these are just jokes, guys. Relax.
We're not making racial jokes.
We're
We're
not
making
making
fun of
racial
people
jokes.
from Boston.
Right.
That's
Cause
acceptable.
niggas started a new business, the Ritter nigga business.
What?
No, I'm going to
yes,
text you after the show, man. I'm actually starting that. I need some funding.
And
All
just to
right,
get the
we
show
gotta
back
move
on
on.
the rails,
Let's get back on
Lamar
track.
Jackson, he just threw another interception.
the Lakers are terrible. They're old. They're slow. They're struggling with losing teams. And good luck. All right, let's move on to some NFL. Yeah, let's move on to some NFL. We got about 48 minutes left in the show, so let's definitely get to some NFL.
All right.
Definitely kicked off on Turkey Day. Matt Nagy saved his job for one more week.
Yes, he did.
Week. At least one more week.
No, the Detroit Lions coach saved his job.
Oh, man.
That was some horrible coaching, man.
Boy, y'all find
Horrible
every
coaching.
way to lose.
Horrible coaching, bro.
I got to give the Lions credit, though, man. Like, their talent level is as bad as anyone in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they compete, man. How many games have they lost in the final seconds? Like, you add a couple blue chip players to this team in the right place. Like, I love what they're building. I know their record sucks, but I don't know, man. I just
look. They've been in every game.
Substance, right? It's
They've been in every game, all right?
Right. They played the Packers to the end. You know, I mean, playing the Bears to the end isn't an accomplishment, but there's something there. There's something building. They play hard.
Yeah.
Like if I offered you $100,000 right now, Lamar, you probably couldn't name a fucking guy on their defense. But they compete.
Oh no, I couldn't. I couldn't. I'm being so
2
serious.
years ago, I would have said Slay, but now he's
Right.
Yeah. I don't know not one guy on the defensive side. I know some of their offensive players, but I don't know nothing.
Goff,
on the
Swift, and Sewell. It's the only three I can name.
Jamal Williams. Yeah, I remember Jamal Williams. Other than that,
I'm a St. Ryan.
And
You mean
Yeah,
I'm acquainted
USC.
St. Brown.
USC.
St. Brown.
Yeah, St. Brown. Yeah, I'm thinking about the Egyptian guy. And that's what he named after anyway. I mean, that's what he named after anyway.
But there's no marquee players on that team. Sewell's a top 7 pick who looks like he's.
I like that linebacker. What is his name? God, the white guy.
If Detroit Mel can't even name him, then you do.
I don't get a chance to see him like I normally do. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you talking about Anzalone?
Anzalone. I like Anzalone.
Oh, with the blonde,
Yeah, I like him.
Little Clay Matthews blonde hair.
He plays hard.
Yeah.
They play hard, man. Like I don't think.
And what's that cornerback they got? That cornerback he leads the league in he leads the NFC North in picks.
Oh, TJ Hawkinson. You of course can't forget TJ Hawkinson.
Oh yeah, I was talking about defense, but yeah.
But you gotta go. I mean, we're 40 seconds into naming players, and all of a sudden names are popping into our head. You know what I mean? You look at any team in the league, you can name 15 players like this.
You talking about Oriari?
Yeah, Oriari. He's nice.
Yeah, you got Michael Brocker still. I forgot.
Michael Brocker's still there. You still got oh God, what's his name?
Yeah,
the guy from the Patriots.
No, he's not there. Oh, Jamie
Flowers.
Oh,
no,
Trey
Flowers.
Flowers.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Trey
Flowers is still there.
Patricia brought him in. Yeah.
You got Han.
No, I don't even know what that is.
Han. What we talking about?
Han.
While the game was on?
No, Han. You know Han.
No. Yeah, what was that, bro?
Han Job.
Whoa.
His last name is Job.
Whoa. Whoa.
His first name's hand and his last name's Job.
Calm down over there, sir.
No,
That's like a Key and Peele.
Deshaun.
That's like a Key and Peele skit. Hand job.
No, his last name is Hand though.
Next to A.A. Ron.
Wow. But no, man, your Lions find every look. They've been in every game, but they find a way to lose. And honestly, I'm with you on Nick. If they get just a couple of stars, just a couple of good.
There's something
quality,
there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They got the grunts. They don't have the blue chips. They got the guys you need to win. You can have all the blue chip players in the world. Like this is what I've always critiqued Jerry Jones about with the Cowboys. He can find the blue chip players. He can find the Parsons. He can find the Lamb. He can find Elliott, Tyron Smith. But he's not finding them in rounds 3, 4, and 5. So you don't have your grunts. You got your stars, but no grunts. Detroit's the opposite. They got their grunts. They got 40 grunts on the team, but they need some
upcoming draft.
Talent.
This upcoming draft for the Lions, they need to hit big.
Yeah,
and they need
they got
to
a few
hit
They got some good. They got a few picks too, so they should be able to get some decent players.
They got their one. They got the Rams one, and then they got their top. They have 3 of the top.
They need to hit on all of their first 3 round picks. They got to hit on all of them, and they have to get quality people that's going to be able to play significant time. And
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like if they don't hit in the first 3 rounds on all their picks that they have in the first 3 rounds, I don't know. You're gonna start seeing another round of Patricia. You know what I'm saying? You're just going to see a lot of quality players, talent just get wasted with a lot of losing. I
think what they need to do, people and the Lions need to do on the people side. I mean, like fans and stuff like that. They need to give them space to build
time.
You know, they need that because this particular draft, you still beef up your O-line.
Yep.
You know, because you got a lot of people that's out on injury that hasn't played on the O-line. So you want somebody there that can step in. So you build your O-line up, you build your D line up. That's all they should be concentrating on, and 1 or 2 good and a nice receiver complement. Because you're not gonna get a quarterback next year draft. There's nobody really out there that's gonna come in and take over. You know, I mean, you
talking about being like a day 1 starter,
right?
Oh yeah, no.
You're not gonna get anybody. You know,
you'd rather build your team and get your blue chip players that, if you're number 1, say you take Hutchinson or you take Neal, the lineman, and now you got Neal and Sewell on tackle.
Right.
You got guys who could be all pros for the next 10 years.
Right.
You hope a quarterback rises and maybe you trade down a couple spots. Like maybe Philly's out on Hurts and Philly's got 3 first-round picks. Maybe they jump up.
Right.
I know we're going to do, I'm sure, plenty of draft shows. We'll get into more on that. But if you stay at 1, you got to get Thibodeau. You got to get Hutchinson. You got to get Neal. You got to get one of those players that are plug-and-play stars from day 1.
Right.
Mid-second round or mid-first round, you take the best available player, whether it's a guard, whether it's a linebacker, a cornerback, whoever it may be. Stock your team with talent because you have so many needs. You can't be position specific.
Right.
You just need talent.
You're right, though.
Top of round 2. You just need talent right now.
Yeah.
Let the talent absorb the talent and then go from there. Because
you're right.
Those 3 players hit and you get 3 stars.
Yeah.
You got something.
You're cooking with gas.
You got something. Yeah. You know, you got Sewell. You get a good I mean, I still like Decker. You know, he's a little injury prone lately. I think about it with Decker's still good. You got Penei Sewell. I can't think of the other lineman that just got hurt. Anyway, they got some decent linemen. You get another good lineman in the draft. Now you got a good offensive line.
Yeah.
Behind, you got somebody to open them holes with Swift.
Yes, what you need.
Right, what you need. And so
but at that point, it don't even matter what you do at quarterback because as long as you keep them upright, you'll get some kind of production out of the quarterback.
And that's part of it.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Who's he throwing to?
Yeah,
shit.
you're gonna have to get it. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to
Besides
beef up the
Hawkinson,
outside.
but besides Hawkinson,
Yeah,
you don't really
but you
have
can
a
double
quality
because nobody else scares you.
right. You don't really have a quality receiver outside of Hawkinson.
I mean, besides the defense and Hawkinson, who's he throwing to?
Right. I mean, you know your team is bad when you can name the field goal kicker.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
That is
Like the field goal kicker, the most popular person on the Lions team for years.
Damn.
All the way back to Murray.
Jason
All the way back to
Henson.
Murray.
Jason Henson been y'all guy for a long
When
time,
the
man.
top 5 plays of the year are game-winning field goals by the other team.
Right.
Hey man, look, is put up or shut up time for that front office in Detroit come upcoming draft. It's not this year. Obviously, you're 10-1. We know you. Just do us a favor, and here's the thing: we're all rooting for you guys.
Yeah,
like literally, it's not just you, Mel. It's like I think a lot of America is rooting for the Lions just because you see that they are in every game. They're scrapping and fighting, and they just don't have the talent.
They already went winless, right? They went winless one time, right?
Yeah, they've already done it.
No, I almost did it twice.
I mean, unless it's the Patriots, I'll take that 10 years out of 10. But you don't want to see a team go winless again. And all these coaches are getting axed. The fucking front office has been shit with drafting.
Right.
So it's tough in Detroit, but I think the tunnel's very far away, but I think you could see a little bit of light.
A little bit of light. You're right. And honestly, I think the front office kind of shot themselves once they let go of what was his name?
Caldwell.
Yeah, Caldwell, Jim Caldwell.
Yeah, Jim Caldwell.
The man went 9-7, got him into the playoffs, and they didn't retain him.
He had respect of the team.
Yes, at the city.
And I think it's like they saw that big name. Oh, Patricia, he's gonna do something, and everybody's high on Patricia. He ain't do nothing
but losing.
But lose.
Yeah.
But lose and look fat.
Fuck you say to me?
Well, he's bigger than you. He's bigger than you, so don't worry about it.
Fucking 6 states away and his balls up. No, I was like,
but no, Lions, another tough loss on Thanksgiving. So that's their 5th straight Thanksgiving loss. Another game. I was actually rooting for the Cowboys because I can't stand the Raiders.
Yeah, I picked the Cowboys.
I did too. But can we be honest about these Cowboys for a second, man? I know everybody was quick to say, "Oh, they're the team to beat in the NFC." They're not even the top team in the NFC. They're just not. All right. And you're playing in a trash division, and you was looking so good, and your schedule's so cupcake, but you just lost 3 to the Chiefs, Raiders, and Broncos. And you lost to Tampa Bay, of course, opening night. That's understandable. That's defending champions. I can see, losing to the Chiefs. They're kind of on the up and up. But to the Raiders and the Broncos, I'm like, those are 2 bad losses.
Yes.
You're talking about a team like Denver whose offense was dead in the water, and then all of a sudden they explode for 30 points. And then all of a sudden, the Raiders, who's been dealing with so much turmoil and off the field issues, and all of a sudden they find their offense against you guys. Like, we're the real Dallas Cowboys. Please stand up. We're the real Dallas Cowboys.
You got that look on your face.
I do. I do. I need you guys to delete every platform that we're on with this video after I talk, because I don't want to get into this. The Cowboys have Lamb and Cooper and Gregory and Lawrence. They win this game by fucking 30 points. They started off slow. They don't have Lamb and Cooper. Dak had a slow start, but he still almost threw for 400 yards with a bunch of fucking kids from the schoolyard. So
Right.
I'm not going to kill the Cowboys, and everyone knows I do not like the Cowboy fans. I think they're bold. I think they're brash. I think they have no reason to be. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And what I've said is that if they have Cooper and Lamb, this game's a 40-20 game. Like, that's how bad I think the Raiders are. But with 7 guys out, starters out with injuries, it leveled the playing field.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to kill the Cowboys for this, and I am one who is on record as saying that once their schedule got tough, this Raider, Kansas City, Saint streak would kind of show you who they are. The Denver game was bad. Dak came back. Dak was not Dak in that game.
No, he wasn't.
I'll give Denver some credit. They beat the Chargers. They beat the Cowboys. They're starting to kind of like you tilt your head like, all right, they got something going there.
Yeah, we'll get on them a little later.
But yeah, I can't kill the Cowboys because if they're healthy, this isn't a game. I think this is just injuries taking their toll.
I get what you're saying, but you look at all the weaponry that they have on offense, even though without CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, Cedric Wilson's been playing well. Michael Gallup that's his second or third game back, and who was already a starter on that team. I think it's either Schultz or Jarwin, one of the tight ends they're missing.
Darwin's out. Let's play.
Yeah. So that's a loss. You still look at Tyron Smith didn't play. There's a couple of offensive linemen missing. There's DeMarcus Lawrence and
Collins comes back this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so they finally have their full line back.
Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory's been out. So look,
I might say Elliott because of his knee. So it's like you.
I get what you're saying.
In a while, and believe me, I'm not a Cowboy apologist.
No.
Everybody knows.
But we have to talk about it. You're not wrong in saying that they're missing players, but at the end of the day, like there's teams that's just not healthy across the whole league, and at the end of the day, you're only as good as your roster is. And so if the Cowboys is only as good as who's starting, then all this hoopla about the Cowboys needs to quiet down a little bit. Because if you're so dependent on your starters to make sure you win a game against a hapless team in Vegas who's been floundering with all the damn off the field shit, and their offense has been dead, and now their defense has returned to true form where they're giving up everything. So my thing is like, if you struggling with that, I'm scared to look at the rest of the schedule, see what else you're going to struggle with. And then all this Dallas Cowboys hoopla over the first half of the season has just been smoke and mirrors.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
This is a comparison. The Titans, they're missing Henry. They missed Julio. They're missing A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Think the Patriots are 23 points better than them? Or do you think that when you said Gallup and Wilson, those guys are complementary pieces. Those aren't your focal point of your offense. So when guys have to step up into roles that they're normally not in, you can't expect the world from them because everyone peaks. You're either a player who's a 10 or you're an 8.5 or you're a 6.5. You are what you are. And I fucking hate that I'm like defending this team. Jesus.
Yeah, you really are.
He's doing a good job too. He's doing a good job.
I think the Raiders are shit.
Yeah.
But I think that Dallas had so many injuries that it leveled the playing field.
Yeah.
I think that if Tennessee's fully healthy and they got Henry and they got Julio and they got
that's
AJ,
probably a different game.
Completely different game against the Patriots.
Fair point.
You can have backups. You can have a complete roster. But guys are backups for a reason. It's because they got a marquee guy in front of them that they can't surpass. Mm-hmm. So injuries play a toll. And I think this is just the word we've thrown out a lot is anomaly. I think if the Raiders and the Cowboys played in week 3, I think the fucking Raiders get smoked. I think the Raiders just got kind of lucky for as much bad luck as they had this season. I think they got lucky getting this game at this time.
No, hey, fair enough.
And all they got to do is win a division, get in the playoffs, and get healthy. Like that's your goal right now.
Well, honestly, that to me, that and that's why I think that's the bigger topic I wanted to get at when it comes to the Cowboys is look at that division. You see the Eagles, they showed for a second that they might come and contend, and then they take a step back.
And Hurts Sunday against the Jets, so they might fall again.
You were worried. You're not worried about Washington. You're not worried about the Giants. So look, I think we're all in agreement that NFC East belongs to Dallas. It's theirs to lose.
I don't know, man. After Washington beats Seattle tonight, Heineke's going to start getting some MVP.
Don't even start that shit.
Heineke for MVP, baby.
Lord, no.
He beats Brady. He beats Russell Wilson. He's got a huge resume, bro.
Look. You're 100% right. Get healthy because they are missing some key players. Um, you can still win your division with what you feel just by being there.
Right.
So get healthy, get prepared for the playoffs. Even if you play some of these playoff caliber teams, just see where you kind of measure at, and then even if you get smoked, you be like, if I had CD or Amari, that's a different game, and we can play that that hypothetical game all day, which is cool. I'm just saying, just get healthy, get mentally ready for the playoffs because all this doesn't even matter at some point because the Cowboys need to erase almost 30 years of failure in the playoffs. They ain't the appearances that they have, they've been one and done. I can't even remember the last playoff win that they had. It might have been against Detroit. Matthew Stafford was it Matthew?
Romo won one game.
Yeah.
Was that it?
Romo's won two, and that was it.
So
Dak lost. They had the one seed when they were 13-3, and they lost the first playoff game to the Packers, I believe.
Yeah. So it's been a minute.
Romo won two in his career. And listen, nobody loves slaying these motherfuckers more than I do. But if I'm going to slay them, be full strength. Okay. So I'm credible when I slay you. And I can't slay him right now. I'd love to, but that game is I can't slay them for that.
I hear you.
They competed losing a lot of starters. So I'm not blowing them, but I'm basically saying I'll wait till later in the year because I know that moment is coming. You know what I mean?
Need some thicker knee pads?
Right.
You need a rag? Right. Yeah, dog. You set yourself up for that one, bro.
Superman.
But no, and then of course, no. The irony of that'll never happen again.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to do it like this for Melvin Paul.
No, we'll get on that. We'll get on that in just a second. But of course, to finish off Turkey Day in a blowout win, Bills. No surprise there.
I like
that. The Saints, man, they just didn't address quarterback position once Jameis went down, and I'm not surprised that all of a sudden they're floundering, and that Super Bowl caliber defense is just getting wasted. That offense is dead in the water, and so no surprise there. Which is shocking to say
that is taking
just got an extension. Oh my god!
But he's also taking first team reps this week too. That's something coming. What the fuck is going on with this life?
Yeah, but come on, bro. Like they just gave Tebow that damn extension, and I know it's some weird language on it, but it could cost the Saints a pretty penny if he sticks around on that team and he's actually the starter. I'm just confused on what do they see in this dude. I must be missing something. There's something about
desperation, and he's got pictures of Peyton with kids. Like that's the only two things. I keep saying it. Like there's no
got some
other
blackmail, bro.
Explanation.
He got some blackmail on Peyton, bro.
Give me another explanation, and I'll gladly take it.
Bro, I'm in the same boat with you.
I said one time, give me a better joke, and I'll rewrite the fucking joke. Like. Give me a better reason, and I'll say something else. But I can't.
I'm in the same boat with you. I don't know what they see in Tamo. I don't.
Tabo. Yes,
I don't.
Southern.
Tabo. I have no idea. When I saw that come across my feed, I'm like, are they serious? Like, if this is the guy that you're giving an extension to, I know he's been hurt for a little bit, but
I mean, maybe they feel that's their best. That's their best bet was with him.
Crazy.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
We'll give you $95 million if you're a quarterback. We'll give you $85 million if you're a receiver. We'll give you $1,200 a week if you're a water boy. Like NFL history.
But I'm saying, where does that leave Jameis? That there's no way you can keep Jameis. Well,
he's only a 1-year deal.
Yeah, I know he's a 1-year deal, and unfortunately he got hurt. But there's no way you can bring him back. You just wasted money on Tamo. There's no way.
I don't know.
Talk to it. Look, I think this is a move. I already said it. The Saints weren't making the playoffs. Now, this to me, this is I might be on the record
Taysom
right
Hill is
now.
gonna lead them to the playoffs.
Man, shut up. No, don't even do that. No.
I wouldn't trust that motherfucker with a PlayStation.
I wouldn't trust him with my Madden team, man. Come on. Look.
Yeah, I don't know.
Super Bowl or bust.
No, bro. I'm about to go on the record and say that the Saints will have to start trading away some of those pieces on defense to resurrect that team. Because with Taysom Hill at quarterback, they're in the same position that they are now. I think they're rebuilding. I think they're a rebuilding franchise because they didn't answer what they was going to have after Drew Brees, knowing that it was going to happen, that he was getting up there in age and eventually he was going to retire, and they did nothing to get prepared. And now they're scrambling.
The Packers for drafting Jordan Love, but look at the Steelers, look at the Saints,
right?
Look at the Patriots. Like nobody had a plan in place for your 700-year-old Brontosaurus quarterback. But you can knock it all you want, but like this guy's eventually not going to be here.
Yeah, but hold on. New England situation, and I think Green Bay situation is different because New England, they made sure that they got one of those top 5 quarterbacks in the draft last year. They made sure they got one.
But that was after Brady was gone.
Of course. I
mean, they drafted Garoppolo. They traded him. You should have brought in another guy.
Brady and Kraft traded him.
I don't think Belichick thought Brady was ever going to leave there. You know, the Saints thought Breeze could probably play a couple more years based off of Brady. And then Breeze took that hit last year, broke 7,000 ribs on one hit, and he's like, "Oh, fuck this!
I'm good."
But you got to have a plan. You got quarterbacks get to 33 years old. That used to be the number, where you plan ahead, right? 33, he's not playing past that. But now, 35, 36, you know, look at all the guys in the league now.
Yeah,
Phillip Rivers, Eli was up there, Roethlisberger, Brady, Manning, Breeze, Rodgers. These guys are going deep into life. Not even but they're going 20 years at quarterback.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson is what, 32?
32, 33. Yeah.
And he's doing all the Brady shit. He's doing all the TB12, like eat the right stuff and prolong your career. So Seattle doesn't have a plan because he might want out. Like it's crazy that nobody plans ahead.
Yeah,
and Seattle's out of Seattle. The Saints they're gonna just shoot themselves in both feet, and they're not gonna be able to march in a fucking parade down there.
They're rebuilding, bro. I'm telling you, that franchise is rebuilding, and nobody's gonna say it. I'll say it. The Saints are rebuilding. Ever since they lost Drew Brees, they didn't figure out what to do. Now they're just wasting a Super Bowl caliber defense. And at some point, you can't keep paying that side of the ball when the other side of the ball ain't getting better. I mean, they're going to have to either move off some of those players on defense that are coming to a point where you either pay them or move off of them. And that team's about to look different. That team is significantly about to look different over the next couple of years. And you heard it here first. Who needs to get different is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
For sure.
They got throttled. Of course, Ben, since we were just talking about him, looked horrible like always. So I think we're on record as an agreement that 5-5-1 Steelers team won't make the playoffs because they actually look like trash. So I think we're in agreement on that. So let's not waste our time talking about that trash team.
One statement on that. I said it 2 weeks ago. Cue Tom Petty free falling. Because their schedule, they are going to
free.
That's it. I just want to remind everybody that we were dead on. All three of us collectively said they're going to drop.
Yeah. Cincinnati, they're moving up in the AFC North. They're 7-4. They're also moving up in the AFC standings. We all know how tight the AFC is. I think they're a viable threat. They just need to find a consistency. You know, they can't be losing to the Jets.
Pittsburgh's taking over.
Watch your mouth.
Cleveland. I take on Cleveland spot. Cleveland used to be in that division. That's Pittsburgh's new spot.
Shit. Since we're there on that division, so AFC North is pretty close in standings. Majority of those teams are over 500. But my thing is, so Baltimore's 8-3, Cincinnati 7-4, Cleveland 6-6, and then Pittsburgh's 5-1. I think Pittsburgh, they're not going to make the playoffs, so no need to waste your time. We already
They're
said
2
free
weeks away.
falling. Yeah. But then you look at Cleveland. Here's my thing with Cleveland. A few weeks ago, when Baker first got hurt, they had no Nick Chubb, they had Dearness Johnson and Case Keenum, and they beat a Denver defense with Von Miller still there at the time. And my thing is if that offense can take on a decent defense like that Denver team, why not rest Baker Mayfield? Because he looked absolutely terrible. We know he's hurt. We get it. He's trying to play tough, man. But he's being a liability to his own team because you're not healthy, and the running game didn't get going last night. There was no Nick Chubb factor. There was no Kareem Hunt factor.
And Conklin's out again. Conklin just got back.
Conklin got hurt again. He just came back, and now he's
and then
out
he almost
again.
fucking collapsed and put a 5-foot divot in the field trying to walk off it last night.
Bro, we need. I just think that the Browns need an intervention. Stefanski needs to be real and be like, first of all, you're limited with Baker. Now a halfway healthy Baker.
You're limited with a healthy Baker. Make sure you say that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're very limited with a healthy Baker. So now the
Right.
man is pretty much been duct taped together and MacGyver out and trying to get into the field, and he's playing even worse. You're about to coach your way out of a playoff spot. Honestly,
I mean, he playing like Stevie Wonder with a blindfold on. For real.
Bullshit. Stevie's better because at least he knows where the keys are. Baker don't even know where his receiver. I mean, he made a couple nice throws last night,
but that's what he does, Nick.
Yeah, I know. Like that was one of the first games this year that I've actually watched, and it was an awful quarterback played game. Like Lamar's throwing
by
picks.
both of them.
Yes.
By both of them.
It was a shit fucking game. Like this.
But here's the difference. Even though Lamar was playing terrible, it's like after he threw the interceptions, he was like, "Well, we still got to play ball. We still got to get in there." And it was an ugly play to get the touchdown to Mark Andrews, but he delivered. He made
the 2 throws to Andrews were 2 of the craziest throws.
That one-hander and then that touchdown pass.
And then that one in the end zone. It's like he ran out of the tunnel to come catch that pass. He was back in the end zone.
He's like, "Yo, I'm right here." but literally, hey, look, say what you want about Lamar, and I know I hear it all the time. My guy's a winner, and I'll take a winner. Damn it, I'm not. I like stats, but I don't need them to validate
Find
the
a
W.
way, right? That's what makes great players.
Yeah, you find a way.
When shit ain't going right, and you find a way.
Right.
Like Lamar last night, I'll make a baseball reference. He reminded me of former Baltimore Yankee pitcher Mike Mussina. He didn't always have his best stuff, but he was a grinder. He was gritty. He found a way
to get you out. Yeah.
And he would say, he's like, "I didn't have my best stuff today. It was just He would throw pitches he hadn't thrown just to find a way. And I don't know, Lamar lucky because he played one of the few quarterbacks in the league where you could walk out with a W last night.
Did you see?
It's a little bit of luck too, right?
Speaking of Cleveland, you see,
Kareem Hunt's dad.
His dad. He said, "You think OBJ dad did something? Hold my beer."
Hey, bro.
I mean, but when I saw the tweet, go ahead. I'll let you go ahead.
I'm just saying, things coming from this man's neck, man. Like
he can't win for losing.
He can't win. But I mean, it's the critique that they're saying on Baker is not a lie.
It's not a lie.
Is not bullshit. I mean, the footage is out there. Everything that they're saying can be validated. So my thing is, and me and Nick have talked about this numerous times. You can't reset the quarterback market with this dude. You can't pay him.
No, you're not even thinking about resetting it. You're thinking about replacing.
Right.
Like I don't think you go forward with him. He hasn't shown me anything where after 3, this is his 4th year.
Yeah.
There's no way in it. If you want to rid yourself of the Browns of the past, you You make the bold call. You make the fucking decisive thing. You say we're moving on, and you go balls to the wall. You trade for Russ. You trade for Rodgers.
Right.
Fucking, I said it. Garoppolo would be an upgrade with what Cleveland does. Garoppolo
fits that
Baker
offense
Mayfield.
perfect.
His career would be a success if he elevates to the level of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Bro, I think
a guy that might be the perfect fit.
Jimmy G and Kirk Cousins fit that Cleveland mold great for Cleveland. Say what you want about Kirk Cousins, man, but come on, you give him that roster. He's almost just the same roster as it was in Minnesota. Get off the run, and you got two great receivers on the outside. I mean, don't get me wrong, he doesn't have an Adam Thielen and a Justin Jefferson in Cleveland, but Jarvis Landry he's no scrub. You can bring in maybe Donovan Peoples-Jones. Progresses. I don't know, but when you still got two number one running backs in the backfield, that makes your life a lot easier. So it's not like Cleveland doesn't have the weaponry for a quarterback to succeed. At this point, they're trying to find all the excuses in the world to show that why Baker isn't succeeding. And at this point, if you got to keep coming up with excuses on why he's not succeeding, it's time to move on.
Yeah.
And when you have two players whose parents have spoken out, there's discussion.
It's bad.
You don't do that shit unless your son is fucking at his max frustration level.
Oh yeah.
And you wonder how many other players, like, what are you going to bury your franchise to stay with Baker?
Yeah, you're right. You got a great point. I mean, Cleveland has a decent nucleus there, and if you
they might have one of the best rosters in football outside of quarterback.
If you keep riding Baker Mayfield, you're gonna waste all that potential.
100%.
And this is the time to get rid of him. Because no matter we can say we want to say about Baker, I always say it's about just about any player. Somebody will find value in him.
Yeah.
Somebody will say, hey, you know what? I see something you don't see. There's always that guru out there to say, I can fix his mechanics. I can do this. And they'll try to take a chance and hook up with him. Yeah. And you just shop them around till you find that person. You dump them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Did they pick up the 5th-year option or no?
Not yet. Not yet. They haven't made that decision. But my thing is,
you had to decide that last April. You can't pick that up anymore. There's a deadline.
No. Well, if they picked it up or not,
if they didn't pick it up, then he's a free agent at the end of the year.
Then they've already shown where they lie with him.
Yeah,
if they didn't pick it up.
And I agree with
Thank
Nick.
you for everything you've done. We wish you well. Adios, amigo.
You go after Russell. You go after Aaron.
Hell, and you hope Deshaun clears up those issues.
If he clears up his issues by then, you go after him.
Look, you make an upgrade. You have to.
And you Cleveland. Only thing you got going against you is weather for Deshaun Watson. That's the only thing you got going.
Yeah, but Deshaun's so talented, man. That weather ain't even gonna.
I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? He wants to go to Miami because of the weather and stuff like that.
Oh, I got you.
Because of the atmosphere
and there's
the
no
weather.
state income tax. That's a big issue too. When you're making $35 million a year.
Massage parlors.
But
not even that. You just go to the port.
But you look at what Cleveland has. That's a good selling point.
Yeah.
That's a good selling point. So
you take quarterback away, I will put Cleveland's roster up against anyone. They got 4 guys,
no doubt,
ranked in the top 6 in PFF. You got Garrett, you got Clowney, you got Ward, you got Newsom, you got the running backs. You go and make that place more attractive to wide receivers, and you go get a Russ, you go get a Aaron, you get a Watson. Fucking everyone will be jumping to go to Cleveland. LeBron will go back to fucking Cleveland.
And Garoppolo might not be a bad choice.
It's perfect for what they do.
Because you can entice him in Tampa Bay, San Francisco. So let's go see what we got with this kid.
Well, he will also be a cheaper option than all those other guys.
Right. No, Garoppolo's got a good contract.
No. But what I'm saying is, I only make that deal if I restructure that contract and San Francisco eats some of that money. Because my thing is, I know that the contract that San Francisco gave him, but I can't take him on that deal in Cleveland we're gonna have to, restructure some money. So, but let's move on to another quarterback and Nick's favorite topic right here. You'll enjoy this.
I don't even want to talk about this bag of shit.
So the Carolina Panthers, man, just seemed to lost that Cam magic. I'm back.
Damn.
Damn. I just want to make this point. When they were thinking about making Cam the starter, following the Carolina game or against Washington, I disagreed with it because you're talking about Cam who needs to learn a new offense from Matt Rule, totally different from Josh McDaniels in New England the last year and a half. So that's one obstacle. And then is well documented of his accuracy obstacles. So my thing is I was totally fine with them putting PJ Walker and just coming up with some of those packages for Cam and slowly bring him in. Like, let him be the starter maybe 3-4 games down the road. PJ Walker already knows Matt Rule's offense. He already knows that a lot further than what Cam. And I'm not saying PJ Walker is a fucking goddamn Lamar Jackson or he's a Kyler Murray, but because of the fact that he knows his offense, that gives him a decisive advantage over Cam. And I don't know why Matt Rule was so desperate and quick to throw Cam in there because he still needs to learn your offense. I'm willing to bet that Cam doesn't even know half of that offensive playbook right now. And now you done stuck him in the starting position so bad or so quick, you done lost 2 games in a row. Your offense has looked dead with Cam as your starter. Yesterday was atrocious. And you just lost McCaffrey for the rest of the season. Again. And so, look, my Charlotte friends back in Charlotte, I know y'all
in the shower or something.
I know y'all was so happy about getting Cam back, but at this point, you get what you get. He's getting thrown into a situation of trying to learn another offense in the middle of the season and keep you guys in the playoff race. And right now, he looks like a backup. He looks horrendous. Some of it's his fault. Some of it's Matt Rule's fault. He's being desperate and he's being gun shy, and then he can't wait to pull the trigger on Cam. And Nick's ready to let it all explode. So
go ahead, Nick, like a candy.
No, he's at a kid in the candy store because he was waiting for this topic.
I only make this face 2 other times: when I see midgets in person and when I see porn. I always make this face. Like, I'm gonna make it quick and brief. He is what he is. He's hype. He's self-promotion. He's not a good passer of the ball. He's not a good decision maker. What am I going to do? Like, I said everything about him already. Like, I've already said what Cam Newton is, and he proved me right. I was attacked for it. I was called biased. I was attacked. Coincidence, somebody who's been on the show and commenting every Monday isn't here today during it. Waiting for it to pop up. I'm waiting for it. Listen, we talk sports. We talk sports, right? We talk about players who are important. I don't have nothing to say. This guy isn't worth the topic of discussion anymore.
All right, man. What you got to say on the situation?
That's it. Like, to me, it's a dead topic that shouldn't be discussed anymore. Oh, there's 32 quarterbacks in the league better than me. Wrong. There's 96, motherfucker. Shut up.
He doubled it up.
He said 96.
I figure there's 3 on every team. So
no,
I just did that, man, too.
I was just saying you tripled it up on him.
Oh, yeah.
Cam, I kind of agree a little bit with what you said, Lamar, about, kind of easing them in and everything. Because with McCaffrey there, now that's with him being there. You don't really, in that defense, you don't really need a Tom Brady on that offense. You just need somebody that can come in, manage the game, and use that talent you have to help you win the game. And you do have the element of Cam be able to run it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that element. So you use what you have in Cam to help win games. However, Cam just don't seem to be able to put it all together. And if it's part of what Nick said, the I can't say the word. Self-promotion. No, I want aggrandizing. Self-aggrandizing, the self-promotion is that could be part of it, and it's all about me, and that's why he's not really being able, because your flaws are what they are. Mm-hmm. That's what they are. Sometimes those are things we cannot overcome in life, period, whoever you are. But the one thing I am an advocate of is using what you have, to go forward. So we know what he has and we know what his flaws is. If you can stay within that parameter, and we talk about, think about Bill Belichick. We talk about how he is able to take away your best option. Mm-hmm. Now, the same other side to that is when you have being a great coach too, is be able to take what you have and using the best out of that person and not allowing those flaws to be exposed. And that just seems like, and I don't know, because I don't really watch a lot of Carolina games. I'm in Carolina because I just don't really watch them. But the little that I see, it just seems like, I go back to that play Nick and I was talking about, that 4th and 3 play. He's trying to run the ball where all you needed was get the first, get out of bounds, have another play. He could have do the check down route, hit the first, running back goes out of bounds. You live for another play. Mm-hmm. He runs. He has 3 people on him tackle him.
It's because he's got more faith in his legs than he does his arm.
Right, and I think that's more of a bigger issue than his flaws.
And I actually looked up his stats today. Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold on, Nick. Are you talking about stats that he's played so far this year, or like career stats?
Okay. This is his 11th season in the NFL. Mm. He only has 3 years above 60% completion percentage.
Yeah, I've said that millions of times about Cam, bro.
For saying this, he doesn't get the ball out on time. He's inaccurate when he does throw it, whether it's late or whether it's off target.
Bro,
I don't know what else I could say. Everything I said about him came true in 3 weeks.
Nobody wants, especially Carolina Panthers fans, Cam Newton fans, don't want to be honest. His passing numbers are just slightly above better than Tebow's. They're slightly above better than Tebow. So when anytime statistically wise we're passing, you get compared
Tebow has Jesus.
to Tebow, you are not in a good position of passing. People have always fallen in love with the athleticism, the flashy plays, the big play threat of Cam. But where is the actual 60-minute player of Cam that people could continue to ignore? If you look at what Cam Newton's game for a whole 60 minutes, yes, he's going to give you highlights. Yes, he's going to give you a Sports Center top 10, top play of the night. Of course.
Flash, right? That's
Flash.
The flash.
But I need a 60-minute player that's going to give me good play throughout the whole 60 minutes. And Cam has habitually done that his whole career. So if anybody has ever rang the bell on Cam Newton, his average at best quarterback, I'm right there with you, Nick, because I've been saying it for years. I'd have took Alex Smith in Kansas City uniform over Cam Newton in a 2015 MVP year every year. Because I know that Alex Smith is going to be accurate with the ball. He's going to be careful with the ball. Game management or not, he's still mobile enough to go get me some first downs every now and then. So he can do, what is it that Cam can do that Alex Smith couldn't do in Alex Smith's prime? Nothing. There was nothing that Cam could have ever done to me that was that much better because he was the flashy guy.
Turn the truck over.
Bro, but that's fine. Have the flashy shit. Give me the shit that's going to matter for 60 minutes. I don't care about that top 10 play shit.
No.
Period.
It's a dead topic for me, man. It's
and it's a good point to end the show on because
what? Let's keep going, man.
Yeah. Real quick take. How you see this Washington Seattle breaking down, Mel, tonight?
Taylor Heineke gonna have a MVP game.
No, don't tell me you buying the Nick Shine hype. Oh my god!
I'm just buying it for this game, man. I don't see Seattle is just.
Yeah,
Seattle's terrible, man. They terrible. I'm sorry.
If you could describe Seattle's team in 2 words, Cam Newton. You got Jamal dancing when other players make tackles, but meanwhile he's getting burnt by fucking slow, methodical white type.
Hey man, that's what you call team support. He's celebrating his teammate and supporting him in his good play.
Yeah, he's saying, "Thank God I didn't have to dodge out of the way of this running back. Somebody else made the play." I really like Heineke. I love it. Me and my son, who both of our names are Nick, we overstress it and go, "Hi, Nicky." Hi, Nicky. I love the fucking name. It's great.
I thought it was Meineke first time I heard
He's got something to him.
Me too.
He's got something to him, and we haven't seen him on national television since the Tampa Bay playoff game. And I think people and Lamar, are we doing the show tonight?
Oh yeah.
All right. I think we're going to talk about how this kid plays and how he's underappreciated, and how they might have something here.
Hey, they're going to need something.
You're going to beat them. You target Jamal. And I'm not saying this as a Jet fan, and I'm not saying it. Arizona won that game because they targeted Jamal every time he was in pass coverage.
You put him in pass coverage. That's how you beat him easily. Easily. But look, on behalf of everybody here at the I.O.W. Sports Show, we're going to end it right there. Going over to the website when we get it right back up, www.ioff119.com, where you can definitely hit on the Patreon, drop some coins in there to help us build this media conglomerate, offset some of these expenses. Going over to yeah, what's up, man?
Oh shit! Cam just threw another incomplete.
Hey, you must have been on that out route, bro.
You can't throw that.
And it sucks because Miami actually has grass, so those poor fucking worms were getting burned up.
Oh, they was getting killed. They divots all in the grass. Again, going into the website. Hell to the victory. Yeah. That's what happens when you win a game against Ohio State. You start feeling yourself. And just because of that, watch Iowa whoop that ass this weekend.
I won't have to hear that song for another fucking decade.
No, go to your respective app stores, whether it's the Google Play Store or the Apple Store, and download the I.O.W. Network app. Like, share, subscribe, follow us on our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch pages. Hit those bell notifications. Gives you the notification every time we go live with a show or drop an episode. So definitely do that. And most importantly, like, share, and comment. Spread the word of what we got going on here over at I.O.W. Sports.
Spread the word.
Spread the word. Word of mouth.
And
is
spread
key.
your legs.
Sir? No, sir.
My bad.
Calm down, Detroit. Calm down, man. Calm down.
It got me hyped.
if you are a woman of a certain age between 18 to 55,
if you're legal and breathing,
and if you're legal and breathing, go ahead, slide into my man's DMs because he needs something.
You're legal and have a post.
You don't even care about looks at this point.
I don't care about that. My lights get dark over here.
The only look he cares about is don't look for me to call you.
I got plenty of pillows on my bed.
Oh shit! But no, look, we appreciate the love and support. Because this shit's getting off the rails. On behalf of,
I'm gonna hit that mug with a ski mask.
On behalf of the big homie Nick Shine. I know, right? I'm Wildcard Mar, and of course that fool up there talking all that hate in Detroit Mel. It's been real. Episode 108 is in the books. Come check us out Thursday. 4
Speaking of come,
time. Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
Tune in Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we give our Week 13 picks. This fool's off the chain.
Man, Mel, I hope Michigan never wins a fucking game. You are off the charts when they win.
He's on another level because he's so amped up about that win, dog. He's just like, it's like all this shit just flying out of his mouth.
I told you, wait till Lions win the Super
Bowl. No team in Michigan won for him. Let him be.
Yeah, that is true. He don't get a lot of chances to celebrate like this. So you know what? Go ahead, do what you do. Just whatever you do. Just don't be pulling nothing out on camera. We don't want to see that.
Well, wait till the Lions win.
Well, win one game and you're gonna be nah, bro.
No,
Nah.
when they win a Super Bowl, boy, it's gonna be
Oh no,
up in here.
No. You won't be alive for that. Don't worry about that. You won't be alive for that. Don't worry about that. But look, yeah, it's been a real great show today, fellas. Come check us out again Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
Right.
as we give our Week 13 NFL picks. It's been real, fellas. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
Holla.